Hey guys, I just want to make a quick video going over the checkpoint practice for your mood writing. So later in the week, you're going to be having an actual checkpoint grade for your mood writing, but we're going to have you practice with it first. So I made a little video going over what I did for my practice writing. So you're going to click that link there, and then here's the link to the Google document that you are going to make a copy of, as always. So the goal for this, I can purposefully, oh, there I am, make choices in my writing to impact the mood of the reader, right? Just like in Scarlet Ibis, you're going to make those choices. I can identify my choices and explain the intended impact. So, as you are all future authors, this is what you're going to be doing for your mood writing. So, directions, you will write 5 sentences about one of the following options. So, you're going to be doing a descriptive writing, like last week, how we had the writing about the front yard of that one house. They wrote it 3 different ways. You're going to be describing one of these 3 places of your choice. So, the Lake County Fair, the school bus, or the square. So, you will make choices in your writing to create a mood of your choice. You will then annotate your work by using the footnotes tool in Google Docs, and I'll show you how to do that. Put your cursor after the word or text you're annotating, then insert and footnote. You just type your annotation. So each of your footnotes should identify the choice you made. You may find this list helpful. So if you click here, we are going to have gone over this anyways. So these are the different ways that an author can, create a mood. All right, so we talked about a lot of these, and we're going to talk about it more in class, but that list might be helpful. So, alrighty, it's a good idea to choose strategies before you write and then purposefully embed them. So, are you going to use personification? Are you going to use a simile and compare something to something else that already has an emotional weight to it? Um, what are you going to do? So each footnote must also explain the intended impact of your choice. How do you want this to affect your reader when they read it? So here's an example of a footnote. The highlighted sentence shows I used a metaphor to explain how the students feel. I expect this will force readers into imagining the visual image. Now I would say make it a little more detailed and specific, but that's a vague example. So, first of all, after you've chosen what location you're going to write about, what mood do you want to go for? So, these are positive moods, these are negative moods. So, look over the list and see what you would like for your mood to be. So, right here is where you're going to type whatever mood you want the reader to have while reading. And I'll show you my example in a minute. Next, you're going to look up your mood word using this link, just to Merriam-Webster's dictionary. You're going to type in your word and then put the definition that best matches your intended mood below, right? Because some words have multiple definitions, but pick the one that is going along with what you're going for. Then, right here, you're going to write your 5-sentence passage in the space below. After you write that and you've put your footnotes, it says make sure you have included at least 3 footnotes which explain your choices and their intended impact on the reader. They'll show up at the bottom of this page. Make sure you have updated your share settings. So I'm going to go over to the example that I did. All right, so I chose gloomy. As you know, it's just easier for me to describe things in a gloomy way. I looked up the definition and I chose this one, right? There was like 4 different definitions for gloomy, but I thought lacking in promise or hopefulness or pessimistic was really the mood I was going for. All right, so here is my 5-sentence passage. The usual crowds of people that flock here have vacated, and all that remains of their presence is their litter. The lights from the rides illuminate the desolate fairgrounds like the candles on a forgotten birthday cake. See my first footnotes here. With no one to enjoy them. The cool night breeze seems to carry, second footnote, the memory of the laughter that once brought this place to life. Even the sun refuses to shine here anymore. The fairgrounds have become nothing but a morgue, entombing the ancient joy that will never again exist, at least not here. What a bummer, right? So how did I do this? How did I create this mood? All right, well, I did a couple of things. I did a lot of word choice. Probably I could have added more footnotes, but I just did the minimum. All right, so I put the lights from the rides illuminate the desolate fairgrounds like the candles on a forgotten birthday cake. No one to enjoy them. So that's me trying to get you to think like, man, all these lights are there, something that normally brings so much joy, but when there's no one to enjoy it, it just kind of becomes a sad thing, doesn't it? So you'll see I have a footnote right here. Here, I'll add another one just so you can see. So say I want to put it here, right? I'll put insert and oops, footnote, and then it brings me down to the bottom. That is crazy. Okay, so it's going to drop you right down to the bottom. So as soon as you insert that footnote, the number will be there and it'll drop you down to the bottom. It put a number 1 for the footnote because that was the first one listed. So I'm going to do that. Anyway, so here was my first footnote. So when I hit insert and then it brought me down to the bottom, I wrote, I used a simile, right? Because I compared it said it was like the candles. I used a simile to compare the lights of the rides to the candles on a forgotten birthday cake. I made this comparison to evoke feelings of sadness and hopelessness. So I told you what I did and what my intention was. How did I want my reader to feel? Evoke sadness, feelings of sadness and hopelessness. The idea of birthday candles not being blown out and wished upon is sad because they're not living up to their purpose. They're not bringing joy, the joy that they should be. So that's why it makes you sad, right? So I said I used a simile and I said like how and why it would make someone feel sadness, hopelessness. My next one, I said the cool night breeze seems to carry the memory of the laughter that once brought this place to life. So the idea that a cool breeze can carry something, that's personification. So if you go down, I used personification of the wind to convey the idea that it can carry memories. This is because I wanted the reader to feel the weight that the absence of the laughter has on the vacant fairgrounds. This should also evoke feelings of loss. So I told you what I did and why I did it, how I wanted it to make the reader feel. Then let's look at my third one. I said the fairgrounds have become nothing but a morgue. Okay, so I'm comparing the fairgrounds to a morgue, obviously a place that holds dead bodies. Sad. Um, a lot of word choice in there also that helps with my mood. Anyways, at the bottom I said, here I used a metaphor and compared the fairgrounds to a morgue, as a morgue is a place where dead bodies are stored and is a place that people usually associate dark and hopeless feelings with. I wanted this comparison to evoke those feelings of sadness and loss with the emptiness of the fairgrounds. So I compared it to something that already carried this emotional weight of like sadness and despair because I wanted that feeling to be felt when people were thinking about the fairgrounds, right, in my description. So that's all I did, right? There's my 3 footnotes. Here is my writing, and that's it. I update my share settings, and I will go back and submit. If I go back to Buzz, here we go, right? And then, as always, you're just going to submit with that little circle and plus sign, and then you're done. That's going to be your practice for the mood writing. Your mood writing that the checkpoint will be is just going to have sort of a different prompt for it, but it's going to be the same idea. You're going to have to write descriptive writing and then add the footnotes that show what choice you made and your intended impact on the reader. So let me know if you have any questions and good luck with this. Definitely do your best on it because it will prepare you for your checkpoint later this week. Thanks, guys.